Oh my god. I didn't sell any coins last month.
Okay, now we're on here. So
Now you're YouTubing? You gotta do your calisthenics. See that fat? Can't get rid of that fat if you're just sitting in your chair, boss.
I know that. That's why sometimes I actually lay on my bed on the.
If you lie down, it kind of goes away. And it slips to the side like a lady's big breasts.
Yeah. That reminds me of my second wife. She'd lay down on her back, and they'd go underneath her arms.
Like water wings, yeah.
Yeah. She used to get pissed off because I'd tell the people that, one of my favorite things to do was grab one of her boobs, throw it over the edge of the bed, and watch her go off like a slinky.
Shaboop, shaboop, shaboop.
Yeah. Anyway.
For fun, it's a wonderful toy.
Welcome everybody to another but late episode of You Must Be Joking.
Right?
Yeah, there you go.
So you need to turn up a little bit, boss.
Oh, no, I just need to do that probably.
Oh, see that? Yeah, let's turn up. Welcome to another episode of You Must Be Joking.
Right?
Woo woo!
That work better?
About women's breasts being flotation devices. If you're an old lady with larger cups, then you definitely know what we're talking about.
Yep.
All women are beautiful.
Oh,
except for the men that want to be women.
I saw a video yesterday. I tried to find it again to show it to my wife, but I couldn't find it. But it was a fashion show, and this was men's clothing. If I could have found it again, I'd be putting it on here to where you could see it too. But it was men's clothing.
I might have seen this one.
And I used the term men loosely.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Because
that's rhetorical.
It was you know how the guys like to wear their pants down around their butt. Okay. Yeah. Well, these clothes were down around their butt, but they had like a garter belt connections holding them up from their shirt, or they had just a real long zipper in the very front where you could see the cheeks of their butt in the back. It was the dorkiest looking stuff I'd ever seen in my life. I actually appreciate the guys that wear the baggy t-shirts, baggy pants, and have them down around their cheeks now, compared to what these people are putting out. It was like
I've seen some crazy fashion shows, boss, and that's just woo. It's like, and I don't mean like the weird crap that they're wearing on the red carpet when they're going to get their little fake awards either.
Yeah.
Like this was Sam, whatever the hell his name is, whatever that clown suit he was wearing, the inflatable garbage bag. This is I remember Robin Williams was doing a show, and he broke into "I'm wearing hefty bag." It was beautiful. I can't find a clip of that anywhere, but every time I see these people in these what basically looks like garbage bags, I want to just post that clip under their post just so they know how stupid they look.
Yeah, well, I when I was looking for that one video and everything, I found another one that was not as bad but close. It reminded me of you remember Buck Rogers in the 25th century back in the 80s? Okay. The party that they had, where he met the princess, and I
don't remember specific episodes, boss.
Well, they were doing this.
I remember this beady, fuck off, Buck.
Yeah. My ball bearings are freezing off. Yeah. Tweaky, that was his name. Yeah.
Fitting.
Anyway, no, he was. They had this ballroom dance, and Buck Rogers was dancing with this princess, and all these people had the weirdest headdresses on, and these real big, shoulder things sticking out, and all this kind of stuff. It made the jackets that Michael Jackson wore at the time look pretty conservative, But these people are actually. Yeah, these people are actually putting this stuff out as a fashion now. And this,
Well, I don't know what those shows were because they look like living Picasso paintings, really.
yeah,
Late Picasso.
there was one outfit and everything this guy was wearing, and me and my wife, we had to sit there and really look to make sure that was a guy. You know,
I mean, I don't see after one of these fashion shows happens, I don't see hundreds of rich people out wearing these things.
yeah.
So I'm gonna say, it's definitely an art show. Calling it fashion is a little bit weird. I would call it an art show because, like I said, especially nowadays, some of these fashion designers that are doing these shows,
Yeah.
it seems like this. It's like, well, I'm going to do the most shocking show I can and have these weird things because I mean, it's not like they're designing clothes for everyday use or even going out to a blue collar party kind of thing. These are things that are like Halloween costumes or
Yeah, pretty much.
weird. But and maybe that's why we don't see it because these rich people are like, I'm gonna wear that at the next mask ball, man. That's gonna be awesome. No one will know it's me.
Yeah.
Could be. I don't know what rich people do.
Yeah, some of the stuff you're not sure that they're human, you know.
Well, we know none of them are human.
Well, there is
We're
that.
all reptilian. I've seen the TV show V.
That was actually good. Although I was married to my second wife at the time when that came out, and that was her favorite show. And she was pregnant with our daughter, and the the episode where the girl got was delivered the baby.
Again, specific episode? Nah.
Well, you remember the alien guy, the alien guy that was actually Freddy Krueger. He played.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The good bad guy.
Yeah, he he got that girl pregnant. You know, they were in love, all this kind of stuff, and then she had the alien baby. Right, and it came out a lizard. Okay, it became humanoid later, but it came out a lizard. The next day, my wife went into labor, and my daughter had a bowel movement while she was still in there. You know, so when she came out, she was kind of scaly and green. You know, and of course, no hair and the whole 9 yards. And they had to take her and wipe her off. You know, and vacuum her out and this kind of stuff. And I remember when she came out and everything, I saw this head come out green, and the kid didn't get any cleaner as it was coming out. It just stayed scaly and green. And so the nurse went ahead, or the doctor went ahead and pulled her on out, the midwife. Pulls her on out and takes her over, and, you know, I tell my wife, you know, I said, honey, I love you very much, and you did a very good job. But you are never watching V again because we just had a lizard. And I thought the midwife and one of the nurses was going to drop the baby because they started laughing. But, I mean, it looked like a lizard to me. It was that lizard kid, you know. Then they explained to me that she had a bowel movement, and that's why it didn't look like that. So, you know, and she's been a shitty kid ever since, too, you know.
Perfect.
No, I'm just joking about that part. But, yeah. That was...
Honey, if you're watching, he wasn't joking.
She knows I love her.
Where the hell's Steve?
I do not know.
Steve. Come on, man.
I don't see him on Facebook. I don't see him on Mixcloud.
Oh, bummer.
And I don't see him on YouTube. So.
Oh, well, fine. I take it all back. Yep. See it. No more high Steve.
There you go. So, anyway. Yeah. So how was your week? I noticed you got your pickup going there.
Yeah, I'm running Uber and trying to remodel my backyard, doing a backyard build because I have all the leftover stone that walkway stone that I got from that bank remodel in Seattle. and so I'm working behind my studio. Between my studio and my garden, I'm doing a little fire pit thing.
Ah,
And so I'm kind of leveling it out, throwing the leftover blocks because I used a lot of it to do the countertops.
uh,
But we've decided to do a stainless steel counter and sink on the plumbing wall. So I have the leftover stone that I have. I'm just gonna throw down over there to make a nice. I mean, it's not gonna be any kind of uh, interlock design or anything. It's just mostly whatever I have thrown around, and hopefully grass doesn't grow up between it too much. But
yeah.
gotta level it out. So I'm doing a lot of digging.
Well, I got a couple pieces of granite out in the.
No, you told me that. As a matter of fact, I'm as soon as I get that thing leveled out and I get to where I'm, because I've got some 3x3 and some 18-inch by I think 2 or 3 foot that I've got out there, and I've got some broken pieces from when I was making my cuts for the countertop. So when I get to the smaller pieces, then I'd like to come steal your piece to put, to the edge.
Yeah,
Because I know it's a bigger and it's a corner piece, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, so that might be neat to put down there. Or I might just break it up like I did the other 2 pieces that I had that were too big to handle.
Yeah, because I got no use for them. I mean, they don't fit any of the counters that we got in the house, you know. So I was just going to haul them away if you don't want them. So
Yeah, I'll take a look. I'll measure them up. I'll see what's going down.
yeah, and then because I got to get rid of those bricks too. So although I'm thinking about building a fire pit, just like a fire ring. And,
Yeah, that's what I did. I just went and got some of the furnace bricks, the gray heat bricks or whatever the hell they are, for my base and for my inside, and then I just got some regular cinder blocks to make the ring, and the fire pit itself is just a dryer drum.
Yeah, I was just thinking about scraping the grass out, making it indented, and then setting the bricks around and mortar, and that way there, have some friends over, sit around, drink beer or whatever, and build fire, and
Exactly.
yeah, so that way there we can get drunk enough to fall in it, and get some video.
What's real nice is that the dryer drum that I have, it's a perfect size for a barbecue grill and a Weber hood. So when the fire's dying off, I can cook food on there. It's nice.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, well, we had that old beat up brick barbecue out here, and that's where I got all those bricks.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, that made a hell of a home for a lot of ants.
I bet.
When I busted that thing up, I mean, we had ants everywhere. I spent days killing those suckers.
Yeah, my neighbor, he's always out there spraying. I figure as long as they don't come in my house, I'm all right.
Yeah, we don't get too many in the house anymore. We get a couple over by the dog's bowl, and usually during the summer.
Yeah. In the summer, I've had a couple lines of ants come out of the wall. I was like, oh, that's a neat place. But for the most part, they're just out in the garden and stuff, which is cool for me.
Yeah, well, when we first bought the place, not an ant in sight, and then all of a sudden we had trails of ants all over. We had them coming through the back wall into the dining room and through the kitchen.
Probably because Sal's over here just completely deeting everything, so they all got to run somewhere.
Yeah, well, they all ran here. We had 5 different trails of the dang things coming. So we had Orkin come out and, start dealing with them. And then the wife was complaining about the money. And so then I started just going out and spraying them and putting out traps and everything else. And then when I found that nest in the barbecue out there, it was like, all right, now we got it. And so after that, I haven't had too many. So, but yeah. We still get a little bit of the moisture ants going into the garage, across the walkway and into the garage. But, yeah. Oh, well. As long as they don't come in here.
Yeah, as long as they don't come into my kitchen, I'm good. And as long as they don't come in the kitchen, that means your kitchen's clean, right?
No.
Because if you got ants, you need to clean your counter a little more often.
What was weird was when the ants did come in, they never got anywhere near the sugar or anything like that.
No, mine always walked on the counter.
Well, they
Like
go.
you'd see them around in a spot on the counter, and you're like, "What is that?" There's like coffee creamer or something. Was a drop of it was right there, dried up.
Yeah.
And
Where
you
we
got a
had them up
whole
on the
thread.
ceiling, you know, and they'd get on the counter and everything, but it was like they wanted the salt, not the sugar.
Hey,
You know, so or
salt,
flour.
pepper.
Yeah, it was
Maybe
weird.
they're in the seasoning, boss.
Well, that's all right because that way they're the aardvarks have seasoned food.
Right?
I told the wife we ought to get one. That sucker would be as big as a house by the time it got done. I wonder if you can have a pet aardvark.
Huh?
Wonder if you can have a pet aardvark.
I mean, I've heard of people having exotic pets, so I don't see why not.
Yeah, but I'm talking about in the city of Tacoma.
I'm going to assume that you're probably not allowed to have very many exotic animals inside the cities of Tacomas.
That could be because I know you can't have like, well, you can have 6 chickens, but you can't have roosters. You can have 6 ducks, but you cannot have mallards. You know, so
These guys got ducks and mallards.
yeah, well, if they find out about it, you can be in fine because you can't have boys. They make too much noise.
They do make noise over there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
see, it doesn't bother me.
Well, it
I
doesn't
don't
me
care they
either.
make noise. Doesn't bother me.
Doesn't bother me a bit. In Auburn,
There's some
the most
severe
irritating.
prick out there somewhere who's going to call on somebody.
Oh
But
yeah. But
it ain't me.
in Auburn, the biggest irritant we had was a guy that had peacocks. And the male peacocks, you know, they would get to rutting out there just, wah, you know, and they beautiful birds, but my God, they don't have a good singing voice. It's almost as bad as taking fingernails down to, you know, down to the chalkboard. It's just, but never complained about it. I mean, hell, they're just being them. So,
Birds doing bird things, man. You can't stop birds from doing bird things.
yeah, and would you really want to? Okay. I had to bring this to your attention because I got such a kick out of this article, the way it was written. Have you been enjoying the winter weather?
I mean, as much as I can for how little of it we've been having.
Yeah, well, see, we got just a little bit here, you know, like Thursday.
We're on the edge of that big cold front.
Yeah, Thursday we barely got any, but it was just enough to make Pacific Avenue slick, you know, down by 512.
Yeah.
This side of 512, there wasn't hardly anything, you know, but I actually had to kick in the 4-wheel drive to get, you know, on down to 176 because it was kind of icy. But once I hung a left there, I was fine, you know. So, but I came across this article and I had to laugh at the way, well, some of it. Let's see here. Thursday, shutting down much of Oregon's largest city with almost a foot of snow, 11 inches, by the way, or nearly 11 inches, that fell in Portland. The second snowiest day in the city's history. It took drivers by surprise. The National Weather Service, which had predicted only a slim chance of significant snow, planned to review their work.
A slim chance of significant snow. Interesting.
Yeah, and because of that,
There's a small chance there's going to be a huge pile of snow.
yeah, well, yeah, later on, that's what they actually said because it knocked out power to almost 1 million homes and businesses in multiple states, even in balmy Southern California.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. Where is it? Yeah. On the beach in California outside of Los Angeles, this one lady was driving to a pottery studio in Santa Cruz. Okay.
Okay.
And when she stopped in her tracks after seeing snow on the beach, she got out there and everything to take some pictures, but there were other adults snapping photos and children were making snowballs. You know, this is pretty much unheard of stuff. Let's see.
I was in LA in the late 80s and it snowed for the first time in a while down there.
Yeah,
Because
89, I think it was.
because prior to that, if we wanted to have any kind of snowman or anything for Christmas or Halloween, we had to actually go into the hills, load the bed of the truck up with the snow, and then bring it and do it real quick and take a real quick picture because that shit was gone by the end of the day.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, if you went up into the mountains, I mean, hell, you could get a lot of snow up there, and now they're actually talking about several feet coming in. But anyhow, so uh, Portland residents had expected no more than a dusting of, or maybe up to a few inches. The Weather Service originally predicted a 20% chance that Portland would get more than 2 inches. The probability of getting 6 to 8 inches was 5%. But they're going to review their work.
Yeah, well, they probably should.
Yeah, yeah. Let's hear.
But they are just guessing.
Yeah, well, the forecast. They said the forecast changed rapidly as the storm approached. A Weather Service meteorologist in Portland said forecasters would try to figure out why their models were wrong.
Probably because they have in their models, they're like, okay, show us the scape of global warming, and it's like, okay, hot and heat, so no snow. When they should be like, well, okay, the temperature is here and the wind's coming from the north. There's a lot of cold coming. Let us see what's happening. Oh, you might get about 6 inches of snow. And then that way, when you get your 11, it's like, oh, they were close, as opposed to, oh, there's no chance of real any snow. Oh, shit, panic snow!
And then another thing I found was kind of interesting about it was in Arizona, several interstates and other highways were closed due to high winds, falling temperatures, and blowing snow.
Snow, huh? Nice. Yeah, I was in Arizona one time. We were driving across, and the wind was so harsh, picking up sand, it actually scratched the windshield a little bit.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, they were saying that forecasters said the snow could fall as rapidly as 2 to 3 inches per hour. We're talking Arizona here.
Yeah.
I mean, around Flagstaff, you're a little bit higher. Yeah, okay, but yeah. But I thought that was kind of interesting.
Did you look at the weather map? Did you look at the big cold front that was basically it was inside the Rocky Mountains down to almost encompassing Arizona and all the way over to God, I want to say at least Louisiana before it actually. I mean, it was a big scoop of a cold front. I was like, oh, they're gonna hurt.
Yeah,
I had to look again to make sure it was on the other side of the Cascades at least. Yeah, it was a pretty gnarly cold front that's coming down from the poles. We should be expecting more of that as as our magnetic field starts to weaken more and more. We should be seeing a lot more of that come towards the equatorial regions. Not that I'm a meteorologist. This is all just presumptuous.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just it was amazing to me that we had that much, and yet here is about as far north and west as you're going to get in the United States, continental United States. We barely got anything, So that's one of the reasons why I like living here. I hate winter.
Well, I mean, like I said, 40 years ago when I lived here, there was snow in October sometimes. You were always playing in the snow on Thanksgiving for a solid decade. But now it doesn't snow till after Christmas a lot. I mean, we get a little bit here and there, but it
This
would
was the
be
first
after,
white Christmas I can remember.
and then it would start snowing. So it's kind of like the seasons have shifted where they come into effect
Well,
a
where I
little bit.
was here in Washington, um, throughout the '80s, it was like Thanksgiving was the day that everybody had the strong winds and the heavy rain, and power went out, so your turkey didn't cook all the way. You know, you had to wait. Uh, then the Christmas was usually fairly warm. Fourth of July was always wet, you know, and Halloween was always freezing or wet or both. But yeah, you'd get like a day or so of snow in October, and then it usually waited until like January and February before it hit again. You know, once I saw it snow in May, and once in June, and I think that was '83 or '84. I think is when it snowed that one day in June. But that was just a weird day anyhow, because it did everything that day. I mean, it snowed first thing, or no, it started out sunny, and then the temperature just dropped like crazy. It started to rain, then it went and turned into hail, then it went into snow, and then it stopped for a little bit and it got foggy, and then it started to rain again, washed all the snow away, and then it turned out sunny and got up to 75. That was all in one day.
Weird sequence of events happens all the time.
Yeah, yeah. It's like in Pomeroy when I was a kid, you know. My mother wouldn't let me go in the backyard to play because it was raining, but in the front yard it was sunny. It was just where our house was and where the cloud went. So, yeah, weird. But anyway,
Weather.
you ever find out anything about your truck? Well, you know, did they ever find it?
No, not yet. Nothing yet. No news. She keeps looking at the website or whatever where she puts in the VIN number to see if it's, found or impounded or whatever. Nothing yet.
Damn.
It's weird, man. It's just like I figured it'd be used in some kind of follow up crime.
Yeah, you'd
And
think.
then maybe they took it out to their farm and they're using that shit.
Could be. I don't know. But the auto thefts are getting more blatant and just flat out ballsy.
Yeah, well, last month they had the TikTok Kia competition. Steal your Kias, right?
Yeah.
And then she was looking, and apparently a few years ago, her style of truck was one of the more stolen in that particular year. It's weird,
Huh.
but I just like I don't know what they would do with it except for commit a follow up crime, right?
Maybe they're
Because
using it to
why
haul
would they
stolen
steal the whole
property.
thing for the catalytic converter? They wouldn't. They'd just cut it off.
Yeah.
So I mean, and I, maybe they didn't look at it real well before they took it because like there's very few uh, parts that are reusable. Everything's nicked, scratched, bent.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's not. It wasn't like they took it for parts.
Well, it's
I,
like Steve's truck.
I
Steve's
maybe
truck, they stole it. And
was that.
when they stole Steve's truck, he had duct tape holding the driver's side mirror on. Okay. The bumper, the front bumper was shoved way the hell out and hanging there. And he had, I can't remember what he had holding it back up. The fender itself was just smashed in. The heater didn't work. The bed was full of garbage and stuff that he'd been saying he was going to haul to the dump and never did. And they stole some of that. You know?
They went through and got all the copper and aluminum.
Yeah, except there wasn't any. You know, and then they left some stuff inside, but they took some other stuff that wasn't worth as much as what they left out of the inside. So
yeah, it's not. I mean, it wasn't worth being a parts car. So whoever stole it. But then I have a friend who he had a sandrail, and the sandrail got stolen. And about 4 years later, cops call him up. Hey, blah, 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 serial number, blah, blah, blah. Is that yours? He's like, yeah, that is mine. Okay, well, come pick it up. We've got it in impound. He goes, and, he bought a stock sandrail because, he's not rich. Goes to get his sandrail. Looks like some racing team owned it for 6 or 7 months. This thing had a new engine, all the spoilers and all paint job. Nice big tie. He's like, yep, that's mine. Yep, that's the one. So I'm just like, well, maybe they'll fix it because it's got some problems. Maybe when you get it back, it'll be like, well, yeah, I had that lift. Yeah, those are my tires. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just had it painted. That look now.
Yeah, that's all fresh.
Yeah. No, I was
never gonna happen.
Right down the street over here in the last 2 days. There was some guy that somebody just backed into this guy's driveway, hooked up to his trailer, to his camp trailer, and pulled it out and took off. There was another guy that had his motorhome taken. Now that one I could kind of see because you just get in it, hotwire it, and away you go. But you're going to take the time to back into this person's driveway, hook up to their trailer, which I'm sure had, you got to crank it up, blocks or whatever. And then, so it's going to take you a few minutes,
Yeah.
And drive off with the trailer. They're getting ballsy.
Yeah. Getting ballsy, getting desperate. And we're not allowed to do anything about it because we'll get in trouble.
Yeah, well, you'll come and visit me in prison, won't you?
I'll keep money on your books, sir.
Thank you. And I will repay the visit, Yeah, because I catch somebody stealing out of here, they ain't going to be walking away.
My neighbor asked me what my first line of defense will be when everything goes to shit. And I was like, well, you remember I used to grow, right? And he's like, yeah. And I said, well, I still have those those power converters, so I just have a wire running out to the fence. So when you see that everything's dead along the bottom of the fence, don't touch it.
That'll work.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've been avoiding the news for the past week because it's just like all it is warmongering left and right.
Oh yeah. That's why I haven't even been talking about that. I mean, it's all over the place, and that's all you hear pretty much, But I'll talk about the weather because I've always been interested in the weather, especially
the weather's always going to be here.
Yeah, but when I was hitchhiking, I was always curious about how the weather was going to be. When I was driving truck over the road, I was always wondering what the weather was going to be like, and I still do. It's just a habit, So that's something I'm interested in.
Man, the other day when it snowed,
Thursday, yeah,
maybe it was kind of big flakes coming down, sticky. So I was driving to pick up Joanne, and I got the lights on. I'm driving, and it's just getting darker and darker and harder to see and harder to see. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Did I lose a light or something? I hit the high beams and didn't change it. So I stopped
snow
on the
was
freeway,
all over the
stopped on the freeway, got out. Oh shit. Clean up. Now I know why BMWs have that on their lights. But yeah, I was like, holy shit, I can't see.
Yeah. I had the same issue when I was driving truck. I mean, I'd have to, I'd be going along and everything, and then I have to find a wide spot, pull over, get out, clean off the lights, and then bang my windshield wipers on the windshield to break the ice off, so I could keep, go again.
Mm-hmm.
And I was always trying to outrun the storms through Wyoming from Denver back, or going that way to Denver.
It was really funny because coming up 18, because I on the way to pick her up, cleaned them off one time, got to her on the way home. On 18, we're going up 18, and it's just like it's piling up, and I'm just like, I turned off the lights and I could see so much better. I'm gonna leave them off for the way up the hill. Very, very dark, this one. Yeah, snow's fun though. I like snow. I just wish we had, a week where we got maybe 6 inches of snow and then go away.
Yeah, I'll go along with you there. I mean, that works for me. That works for me, 100%.
Let's go with snow from right before Christmas to right after New Year's, and then just gone.
How about snow from Christmas Eve to New Year's Eve and call it good?
I can get on board with that.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, we can have New Year's Day for it to melt before everybody goes back to work.
Right.
Yeah.
Recovering. I'm sleeping in because the snow's melting and I have to go to work tomorrow, and I got drunk as shit last night.
There you go. See, that works for me. I can get along with that.
Yeah.
I remember when I was younger, though, I used to think, how great it would be if God would have thought it through and just, let it rain at night and not in the daytime. Let us have sunny days and rain at night. That way there, all the plants would be happier because the water would have plenty of time to penetrate. And then they'd get plenty of sunshine during the day. The only issue I would have had at the time with that would have been driving in the rain from the bars at home at night, or going to a drive-in and having to have the windshield wiper going. But
when I was younger, I always imagined that it would be awesome if like 4 feet of snow fell all at once. But then as I got older, I realized that just hurt. Pretty much flattened everything. Wouldn't it be cool if? Yeah. No.
Yeah, be like walking through the woods and all of a sudden have this great big old clump fall off a tree under your head. And
But now I think I'm back to let's have 4 feet of snowfall all at once. I think that'd be cool.
Now let's spread it out over a week.
No.
And then let it stick around for a week.
In 1 hour, 4 feet of snow. Ooh.
Well, I've said it before. I'll say it again. You, sir, are a one sick puppy.
Thank you very much. Takes work to be this sicking.
Yeah, the last thing in the world I'd want is to see that much snow coming all at once.
I remember, God, when I used to go snowboarding and skiing, again, 80s, 90s. Remember we used to have up on Stevens Pass, they were proud of having a 300-inch base. You're just
yeah.
Went up there a couple years ago to go boarding for my last time, and it's just like there you could exposed rocks and shit, and you're just like, there ain't no snow up here.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be a soft landing.
Yeah, well,
because when the snow's got a 300-inch base and it's still falling, you're like, I can do a double black diamond, no problem. Poof. Yep, I'm fine. Let me just get up and keep going again.
Yeah.
Now you do something like that, you're just like, call an ambulance.
Yeah. I remember back then, you had Stevens Pass, you had Snoqualmie, you had Sun Valley, all those, they were competing, we've got more snow than these guys.
Yeah.
And it was constantly, I haven't heard anything about any of that in a couple of years.
No, I haven't even heard them bragging about we make our own snow now because they used to do that about
Yeah,
10, 12 years ago.
yeah,
Haven't even heard none of that now.
yeah. Kind of makes you wonder, don't it?
Global warming.
Yeah, well, we could use some of that right at the moment.
I'm all for it. I wouldn't mind. I'm up here in the Pacific Northwest. I wouldn't mind if it turned into a tropical zone.
Yeah, yeah. I could go along with the banana belt moving in.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
It's like,
Although actually it has, if you think about it, because the neighbor, what, 2 doors down, something like that, has like a date tree that's
does
actually
he?
blooming. Yeah, it's
Nice.
growing and blooming. And there was an article a couple of years ago about a guy in Canada whose banana tree actually started to fruit.
Wow.
Yeah, this is in British Columbia. A banana tree is putting out bananas. So,
I'm trying to sprout a mandarin orange tree. I got a seed out of a mandarin orange. Actually, I got three, and so I propagating them, trying to get them to sprout, and then if they do, I'll keep them in here until next year, and then I'll put them in one of my barrels.
yeah.
It'd be nice. The avocado trees are doing all right. The grapes are doing good. My apple trees starting. I saw some bloomage on the apple trees. I'm like, oh yeah. So this
Yeah.
year the garden should produce some pretty good fruits.
Yeah, we've been talking about getting some fruit trees and putting them out here, and just to see what'll happen. But she wanted to get some ducks, and for eggs and stuff.
Yep.
And but I told her, we'd have to make a shelter for them. We have to be able to give them heat in the wintertime, make sure they have water, and this kind of stuff. It'd be a lot of work. And when she got to thinking about it, and never mind, don't have time.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having ducks because ducks, they keep the slugs and some of the bigger bugs out of your garden.
Yeah,
You feed them table scraps just like you can chickens, and they give you delicious eggs.
yeah, yeah. My daughter, she has the one that was born a lizard. She has some bunch of ducks at her place, and now she's
Did you
got
name her
chickens.
Elizabeth?
Yeah, the lizard girl.
Elizabeth.
Yeah, there you go. Never thought about that. Named her after a Looking Glass song. But yeah, Lizard Beth. That would have been good. A lizard Beth. That's a hard one to say.
Rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
Yeah, like a concrete brick. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, I
I'm
wouldn't
gonna
mind
have
a
to
couple
actually
ducks.
say.
Wouldn't mind a goat. But the only thing about a goat is I wanted a goat because I figured I'd love to have the goat's milk and make cheese. But apparently you have to actually, breed them so that it's pregnant and actually produces milk so that you can have milk and make cheese. And
Well, I don't think your
I,
lady.
I watched my sister doing that. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, well, I don't think your lady would actually get jealous. I think you'd be all right.
I think so too.
Yeah.
She'd probably join in.
There you go. While you're breeding it, she could milk it. You're such a bad boy.
That's my dad. That's where Goat Boy came from.
Yeah, Sheep Boy came from Montana.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was watching my sister do it. It looks like too much work. And then it wouldn't just be the one because you'd have to have a couple females and a male so that they could keep producing, so that you keep some titties full.
Well, yeah, but and then
Although
of course,
having a goat would be nice to keep the yard down.
yeah, but you go ahead and you have your goats, right, and let them breed and everything else, and then you go ahead and just rotate crop. I like mutton.
It's, I mean, it's. I could see that if it was semi lucrative, but I mean, even she's just like it's hard to get rid of the kids. She sells chicks more than she sells the goat kids. So,
Yeah, well, see, you wouldn't be selling the kids; you'd be eating the parents.
but see, if you have two females and one male, and he breeds with both those females, now you got six more goats. I don't think I could eat them that fast. I'd have to sell some.
I'll buy the meat at a reasonable price, of course.
Kill it yourself.
Bring it over.
But yeah, I think ducks would be a good start. Ducks would be a good start. Maybe I'll just steal some of my neighbor's ducks.
I was just going to say, you could always just, reach over the fence.
Well, shit, sometimes they fly over. Let the dog
there you
out
go.
and he's like, "What's that in the yard? I'm scared of it. I thought you were a pit bull." Yeah, but that's not a dog.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys should have gone to the park with us yesterday, man. That was,
Yeah.
poor Shinzo, man. He ran himself ragged. There was a couple there that had two dogs, and they immediately come running up to the gate and everything to say hi, and so he takes off and he's running with them. And then finally they decided they're going to leave and go for a walk outside. And then this other couple came in with another dog, and he took off running with them. And then while they were out running, more people started coming in, and he just, oh man, it was just one big crowd of dogs just running all over the place, having a good old time.
Running like crazy ass dogs.
Oh,
Good.
yeah. So it was pretty good. And the shocks are awesome. Oh my word. I went over a speed bump at 20 miles an hour, one of those 20-mile-an-hour speed bumps, and I hit it, and the front end came down, and it just cruised right along. It used to be, that it would sit there and do this until I got down to the next block, Yeah. So I can't wait to pull the trailer this year because, last year I hit, part in the road where it would go like this. And then the truck would be doing this the whole time, keep going, after we were off of it. And so now that I got actual good shocks on there, I'm kind of excited.
This might be a smooth ride this time. I don't know.
Yeah. I can hit a bump now and the tires just, and that's it, instead of going.
Yeah, a friend of mine and I went down to California one time, and we had this U-Haul trailer.
Uh-huh.
And we were pulling it with a Volkswagen Rabbit.
Oh Jesus!
So it's like it was like driving a funny car. The front wheel would be almost off the ground. Whoa!
Yeah.
And those were the power wheels. It was very difficult to drive. It was fun.
Yeah, I remember.
To load the trailer so everything's forward on the wheels, right? So it doesn't do one of these. Well, we didn't know that the car was so light it was going to do one of these.
Yeah.
We was young and dumb, and we was having fun.
Well, that's how you learn anyway.
Looking over the hood, driving.
At least you're not going.
That probably would have been easier. Holding yourself up with the steering wheel so you can see over the hood.
Yeah, just stick your head out.
Leaning forward real hard to get the front end to go down enough so you can steer.
That's when you put your friend on the hood. I've ridden on the hood more than once.
Get out there and lay the front end down so we can make this corner.
I remember my daddy had this 1961 Ford flatbed pickup, and we used to cut up cars, old scrap cars. We'd cut them up and sell the scrap, scrap metal, and he'd load that thing down so bad and everything, and it was 3 on the tree, but it didn't have power steering or anything, and but he'd be going like this and everything, and it would just be just easier than hell. You could steer it with your fingers like this because the front tires were barely touching. You'd hit a bump and everything, it'd go up like this and then slowly come back down. It was like, shit, Dad. He's just, kind of reminded me of Fred Sanford, except, instead of the junkyard and everything, we just had car parts in the back. Some of the cars he cut up, though, that really bothered me on a couple of them. There was a 55 Buick. Other than it being pink, it was a beautiful car. The body was straight. The glass was all good. The engine had seized up, from what I understood, and you could have fixed it, and it should have been fixed and restored, because that was the first time I ever saw the Wonder Bar. You know what a Wonder Bar is, right?
Yes, it's a huge bar that you use to move stuff around, and you wonder why you didn't have it before when you were trying to move shit by hand.
No, Wonder Bar was on the radio. You'd push it, and it's an analog radio, but you'd push the Wonder Bar, and it would start going up and down until it found a station that would play.
Yeah.
So it was the original Seek.
When it locked into a signal,
it would stop. Yeah. So that was the first time I'd ever seen anything like that. It was like, whoa. And it had a cruise control. And that one there and everything, you had a little dial on the speedometer. And so you could set it, just turn it to the speed that you wanted. And that was supposed to work. Yeah.
Oh, remember when we had push button transmissions? That was awesome.
Oh, yeah. Dodge had them. Back in the 60s. Yeah, so that was kind of a new thing too, yeah.
That's I don't see why they still don't have that.
Actually, they've made a bit of a comeback. Except instead of the actual buttons, they're electronic, so you push them like that. But the problem with the reason that they took them off the market to start with was because you had your buttons for the gears, but you had a lever off to the side for park. And a lot of people would forget to flip that lever.
Take it out of gear, get out of the car. Where's my car going?
Yeah, they'd forget to flip the switch for park, but they'd put it in neutral, and away it would go,
Then you see those new combination transmissions where they're automatic and manual at the same time. But then again, see, even the automatics, when they have multiple speeds, those are also manual, because
you manually shift them.
When I was thinking I was young and dumb and racing and stuff, drop it in the low and
yep,
like
I did the same thing. Yep.
So it's.
But the van, it actually is like that. Our Sedona and our Rio, the same thing. You got your, just put it in the automatic for, drive and reverse, this kind of thing. But if you slide it over to, I think, to the left or whatever, then you can drop down a gear each time, go up a gear each time, So, yeah.
Remember when you had to actually get out of your car to put it in 4-wheel drive?
Yeah, that Ranger I had to do that. You had to get out, put it in neutral, both gear sticks in neutral and everything to get out and turn the hubs. Then get back in, put it in gear and go.
And then you had to get out, take them out of 4-wheel drive, get in, go reverse a little bit so it would shackle back out of the fucking front-wheel drive, whatever that fucking thing is. The knuckle. Hilarious. Ah, the good old days. Now it's push button. 4-wheel drive, please.
Yeah, that's like my truck now, but except for some strange reason, I'm taking it into the shop on Wednesday to find out about that tapping and get the heat fixed.
Yeah.
just in time for summer, of course. But the four-wheel drive, like yesterday when I was doing the shocks, I put it in four-wheel drive because, pulling it up on those plastic ramps, it just, I don't push them out of the way,
Yeah.
And so I put it in four low, right? Just climb right up on there, and I was good. And did it again on the back tires. Got it up there, and that was fine. Tried taking it out, and it did not want to go out. It took me probably a good 10 minutes to get it out of four low. It wouldn't go into 2 high. It wouldn't go into 4 high. I ended up having to put it into auto, and then I could get it into 2.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I think I'll be mentioning that to the mechanic while I'm there too.
Yeah, there was this thing when I pushed the button, it didn't do the thing.
Yeah, the light would flash, but then it'd just go right back, so.
That's why I like my little Mazda. It's got no computer chips in it. None.
Yeah, that was the nice thing about the Ranger. There was,
It's loud as shit, though.
Yeah, but it goes. Yeah.
It goes.
And nobody stole it.
Not yet. Not yet.
I'll be over tonight when you're in sleep. No, or better yet, I'll just wait until you're in the studio and you won't hear it anyway.
Right?
Yeah.
I'll just hear someone scream when they touch the fence.
I want to be out there with my camera going. Watch.
Viral video.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
What else you got, boss? Come on, man.
What else do I got?
Yeah.
Do I have anything else? Oh yeah. Fill out our last few minutes. Did you hear about Operation Nightingale?
Operation Nightingale?
Yeah.
Isn't that from the 60s?
Nope, that's from now.
That's from now? What are we nightingaling?
Some of the colleges in Florida were selling diplomas and degrees for nurses.
Oh, sweet. So you didn't have to actually attend. You could just buy?
Yeah. And
Nice.
the FBI did an investigation and found 7,600 fake diplomas and transcripts that were bought from three fake Florida-based nursing schools.
Nice. Nice.
I thought you'd like this.
The videos of those nursing staff beating up on the old people in wheelchairs.
Yeah, they Texas Nursing Board.
So I could get the job.
The Texas Nursing Board filed charges and released the names of 23 nurses in a statement from the board.
They're in Texas from the Florida thing?
Yeah.
Nice.
And the funny part is that all of them that I read, I could only find the A's. So I don't know if that was all of them or not. But none of those were like a normal American European type name. They were all kind of weird. I wished I would have gone ahead and printed that out too, but I couldn't pronounce a lot of them. The last names. Let's see here.
So you're saying there weren't a lot of Smiths? There weren't a lot of Joneses?
None.
There weren't a lot of Marcuses, Aurelians?
Let's see here. Yeah, there was Siena College, Palm Beach School of Nursing.
All right.
Sacred Heart International Institute.
Oh, that one sounds legit.
Yeah. Let's see here. Charlene Health Institute of South Florida, West Palm Beach.
Okay, then.
Med Life Institute, Lauderdale Lakes.
These are all online courses.
Maryville School of Nursing in Palm Springs. Nursing Bridges Institute in Pensacola, Palm Beach International College, Lake Worth, Suncoast College of Health, Bradenton, and
Lake Worth, I've been
and
there.
Technipro Institute LLC.
Oh, that's legit.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah, this school is an LLC.
the fake nurse count by state or agency. 189 out of the over 7,600 potential fake nursing degrees. Delaware had 26. Georgia had 22. Texas had 23. The VA had 89.
Woo woo! Imagine that.
Let's hear. Washington, 17.
That's
The
it.
licenses were rescinded. 12 were denied by the Washington State Nursing Board.
That's it.
Let's see
I
here.
think there'll be more here. All them Filipinos.
Yeah, the veteran, the VA was claiming they haven't found any harm caused by the 89 nurses they terminated. Now, here's the kicker. They talked to a couple of these nurses. I need better light here. One of them said some of the students who purchased the degrees said that they had no idea they were illegitimate. Now,
well, I out of 7,600, I could believe that maybe 100 or 200 were like, oh, I need to get a degree so I can get a job. This place looks good. It's cheap. I can believe that.
And fast.
The rest of them were like, I need to get a job now and fuck everything. I'm just doing that.
Yeah. Another one said, we had classes. We did our clinicals at a clinic. Really, nothing seemed out of normal.
What?
Yeah. But they became
No way.
they got their nurse's certificate or nursing license and all that, and their transcript all within a year.
I mean, I guess because some of these courses claim, to give you to on the job within a year. Some of those courses, if I remember right, the commercial will be like, you should become a nurse.
Yeah, those are medical assistants, not nurses.
Okay.
Yeah, nurses take a little bit more,
Well, nurses.
Because nurses do most of what the doctors don't want to do,
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's crazy. Actual classes.
Yeah.
Still fake. So they were making enough money to spend money to make it look legit.
Yeah.
I want that. I want to have enough money coming in so I can make my church look legit.
Yeah. Anyhow, that just yeah. And considering I don't like doctors anyway, so that.
It's not that I don't like doctors. It's just hard to trust people that take a Hippocratic oath.
Yeah. Or hypocritic oath. That's my opinion. Anyway.
Well, those are called politicians.
Yeah, them too. Anyway, that would be our hour, my good sir.
What? We made it.
And yes, Steve never did show up. So, darn it. Anyway.
Well, Steve, even though you didn't show up, hi, goodbye. Take care of that foot.
Yeah, and remember, if any of you folks actually want to kick in on the conversation, feel free. You can always email us at veg.
You know what? You ain't ever joined, so eat me.
veg@rubberchickenradio.com, or you can email me, Gary@rubberchickenradio.com, or you can call
me, man. Come on, bring it. I'm looking at my email
right
now. No one emails me. No one.
That's because nobody likes you.
Nobody likes me. Everyone's scared to hear what I have to say. They're like, that guy is so stupid. I'm afraid to tell him anything because the idiocy will just ooze out of the return email.
Well, a lot of people are actually afraid it could be contagious.
Listen. I'm a carrier. I'm a spreader. I'm a super spreader.
But be
If you
sure.
want some of this dumb, just come on get it. Come on get it.
Yeah, remember you guys can also text or call 253-254-6664 and leave a message and we'll get back to you. We'll read it online or play it or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Let us know.
That's why they don't.
Well, that
That's
could
why
be
they
too.
don't. Because we keep threatening. Yeah, hey, talk to us. We'll put it up on the online. They're like, oh no.
Yeah, well, if they call, they can always say, "Hey, I don't want you to play us on the air," and then we wouldn't do it. Of course, we'd just say what was said.
Just keep commenting anonymously through the Facebook or the YouTube. You're safer that way.
Or Mixcloud. Okay. So
Listen, we love all of you. Thank you for watching. You guys, without you, we're just talking to ourselves. I mean, we'd still do it, but thank you for watching.
Good point. So anyway, thanks for joining another exciting episode of You Must Be Joking.
Right.
Not very often, but we try.
Everybody have a wonderful day. I'm going to go have me a breakfast burrito.
There you go.
Good stuff, man. I'll
See you
talk to
later.
you soon.
Yeah, okay.
Bye.